morning. I'm Manoj Kumar Srivastava, Dr. Manoj Kumar Srivastava, working as assistant professor in Department of Computer Science at Akgec Engineering College, and I'm teaching to the students, BTech students, data analytics subjects, in which a topic R programming is there, and that will be introduced today. The contents of the topic, the outline that is to be discussed here is introduction, that is introducing this new programming language to the students, and examples, reference calculator, data types, resources, simulation and statistical tables, and some basic concepts of R programming that will help in dealing with R programming, how the students of data analytics can utilize this R programming subject for reporting, report writing, or managing different data with the help of graphical analysis. Also, some of the examples we will be seeing here. Now, as we know that this is a programming language, and this R programming language is a descendant of S programming. Means much of the features and facilities of S programming, which is very interactive data analysis tool developed by Bell Laboratories in 1976, was introduced. This was S programming, and in 1982, 92 and 98, different versions of S programming were introduced by different computer scientists or authors or the programmers who were contributing to those as programming. And this is especially licensed to AT&T Bell Laboratory, WA product name S+. Now, R actually, it is initially written by Ross Ihak and Robert Gentleman at Department of Statistics of United of Auckland, New Zealand during 1990s. This R is a GNU S, means it is similar to, that is S programming, a language and environment for data manipulation, calculation and graphical displays. As I said that earlier, that graphical display, as I am introducing the subject that is data analytics and teaching to the students of BTech how they can get benefit from this R programming. This is the important part. When we are trying to analyze any data or data set, we try to use some graphical representations, and this is very important here, that in R programming the data manipulation and calculation can be done very efficiently, and also the graphical display can be done here with foolproof and with very effectively. That's why R programming is very important for the students who are trying to work with the data analysis. R is similar to the S system we have already discussed here, a suite of operators for calculation and arrays in particular matrix. This is a very important line we can say here, that a suite of operators for calculation in arrays in particular matrices, because there are lots of data. Even we are dealing with the big data also. So when we are trying to deal with the big data, we have different data sets, different patterns of data set, different matrices of data sets that can be utilized here for analysis purpose. That's why this R programming is very important language, or important tool in order to analyze the data. Next we see here in the topic that a large coherent integrated collection of intermediate tools for interactive data analysis. Interactive data analysis, this word has been given here just because I have said that it contains, this R programming contains a graphical display feature, and we very well know that whatever things are written can be very well justified or can be well presented with the help of graphical format. Whatever the data is there, whatever the activity is there, that can be represented with the graphical format very efficiently. That's why interactive data analysis tool is being treated here as R programming. Now, graphical facilities for data analysis and display either directly at the computer or on hard copy. Hard copy or computer, see, whatever data we are trying to deal with here, that can be analyzed and can be converted into a report or can be represented with a different graphical plots that can be further explained with the help of this computer system, or even that printout can be taken as a hard copy and can be displayed to the different board members or different members who is trying to get indulged into this topic related to the data analysis. Graphical facilities are there. Well developed programming language includes, we already know that for a programming language there are so many certain activities that is to be performed here for the proper programming, and the language includes some conditions, control statements, or user defined functions or recursive functions, some input to the data through which we will get, after applying our algorithm or applying our program, we get the output facilities. So this is what has to be studied in this R programming. Now, the core of this R is an interpreted computer language. Interpreted, there are so many languages. Either it is compiler based or it is interpreted based. Now, this R programming is an interpreted computer language. It allows branching and looping as well as modular programming using function. Modular programming is functions. We already know that method is a way of representing some group of code that can be utilized to run on the specific algorithm that is to be receive the output from that tool or the programming language. That's why functions are, we can say here, functions or methods, this can be utilized. This function, we say that this function can be also replaced with the word methods, because method is also similar to that only, and that is a specific code for a specific program for getting the specific output. And most of the user visible functions in R are written in R only, and calling upon a smaller set of internal primitives. Here internal primitives represents the different data types, a primitive data type that can be used in that functions to work upon the particular activity. Whenever we try to write, for example, suppose I want to define some function. So in some other language, any other language, what we do, whenever we try to write a function, we write certain function, and the code that is to be represented here are written here, and this function will perform its activity whenever it is called upon. It is possible for the user to interface to produce written C, C++, Fortran languages for efficiency, and also write additional primitives. Since these are the languages, most means the languages most of the programmers try to work upon. This programming language can be also utilized here, or the methods or the functions that has been written over in this programming language can also be inherited here to utilize in R programming. This is the facility, a feature of the R programming language. Now we will see what R does and doesn't do and don't of R programming. When we compare this R programming, we can see here that data handling and storage, numeric or textual. R programming is for data handling and storage, and it is not a database. We will not say whatever data set, because all the data set that is to be inputted here will be worked upon with the help of R programming, and we will graphically represent those data so that it can be in representation format and can be represented to any other Delegates are the user or whoever want to utilize those data as a report for his or her work. So database is already there, but not in our programming. All the data that is to be treated here will not be treated as a database here. It will be only used as a set of data for work upon on that, or it can be utilized to work upon that in a different format. And the data can be either numeric or textual, any kind of data can be there. Even matrix algebra is there. In our programming, matrix algebra is there, which will help to utilize or conceptually utilize the data analysis algorithms and different activities to be performed here with the help of our programming. See, it does not work on graphical user interface, because we are writing program here, and whenever we write program, it do not have a graphical user interface, but connects to Java or TCL, TK, or there are different tools of the different programming language where it can be interacted with or connected with and utilized to produce this matrix algebra or representation of graphics. It has hash tables and regular expressions that can be used for representing, because lots of data will be utilizing here in this programming language, and how it can be managed, those management can be done with the hash tables and regular expressions. Next is high level data analytic and statistical function. This is very important part. Important why? Because it includes what? High level data analytics and statistical function. Whenever we are trying to work upon the some sort of data to get the report or to get the graphical representation for that, we have to analyze the data, and that analysis can be done with the help of statistical functions, which is already present in this R programming. That's why it is said here that it is a high level data analytic and statistical function. Now another part which it does not work is that language interpreter can be very slow but allows to call on C++ code. Here only drawback for this is that since this R programming is interpreted language, and whenever we will try to interpret this language, interpret from the other source code or from the other source, then it will take very long time to interpret it. That's why it will be very slow. So it is an drawback for this R programming, or it do not require here. It is a object oriented, so classes are there in this R programming. Graphics are also there. Programming languages, loops, branching, and subroutines are. See, subroutines is similar to that, methods only, functions only, which will be utilized here for working upon the different activities. No spreadsheet view of data, but connects to Excel, MS, Office. This is very important feature here. If you are trying to work upon the some sort of data which is in rows and column format, here we can utilize the spreadsheet of other programming language, that is other programs or other application which is being used here. No professionals or commercial support is required here. Means in this case, in our programming, whenever we are trying to work upon this R programming, it can be done very easily with the programmer. Those who are having some specific knowledge related to the programming, they can easily write their code and understand it and implement it on the R programming and can get it. So professionals or commercial support is not required here in this R programming. Now, what is the correlation between statistics and R here? Packaging, a crucial infrastructure to efficiently produce and load and keep consistent software libraries from different sources of the authors. It contains packaging. That is very important part. We can package here different activities that is to be done in data analysis. Statistics here represents what? Most packages deal with the statistics and data analysis, because we are trying to work upon the data analysis. That's why statistics is very important part of this R programming. And as a state of the art, many statistical researchers provide their methods as a R package. This means what? Means whoever all those researchers who was working upon his research activities, they try to combine into an R package and produce those are R package for further use or for explanation to the different viewers or users. That's why this R package helps in, it is said as a state of art here. Now data analysis and presentation refers to what here? Means the R distribution contains functionality for large number of statistical procedure. We already from very beginning we are trying to discuss that R contains some statistical procedures or statistical programming is there in this R programming. So what kind of programming or what kind of procedures are being presented here? That has been mentioned here, that is linear and generalized linear models. Linear and generalized linear models. Non-linear regression models. Time series analysis. Classical parametric and non-parametric tests are there. Clustering, this is one of the important feature of data analysis, and smoothing. So all these features are there in R programming that can be utilized here for presentation. Statistical procedures are there. See, R also has a large set of functions. This is very important part of the R programming, that is it contains a large set of functions. With the help of those functions we can work in this graphical environment very efficiently and flexible manner for creating various kinds of data presented there. That's why R programming functionality, that is set of functions, helps in lots of way for the data analysis purpose. So in data analysis we will be talking about all these things and how those activities that has been studied in data analytics subjects are all can be practically implemented here in the R programming and represented here for all those activities in order to see either searching out the item sets or K clustering algorithms can be utilized here and to work upon the data sets, clusterings, and there are different graphical representation that can be utilized here. Even regression models are also there that can be used here. This is an references that has been taken from for this R programming for the reference book, and that is the basic reference is the new S language, a programming environment for data analysis and graphics by Rickard. So these are the references that has been mentioned here. Now we will work upon the some sorts of the code, that is command based programming, where we will be seeing how this R work as. Here as it is represented here, that R is as a calculator. That means this R programming can be very efficiently and effectively work upon the different mathematical calculations that can be used here. See, for example, we can see here that whenever we are trying to find out the logarithmic of 32 on base 2, it is very easily, it has given the result in a array form, and it has been represented as a index 1 and the value is 5. Similarly, when we are trying to find out the square root of 2, it has been, the value has been represented here 1.414214, means up to 6 digit it has been given. It can be changed also. And similarly, when we are trying to use some sort of function, all these are functions only, we can say square root and sequence. So this sequence gives starting from 0 to 5 and length is equal to 6, means in an array these 6 values can be represented here, indexed at 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means sequence of number has been represented with the help of sequence method. Now another function is that whenever we are trying to graphically represent some activity or some mathematical calculation, that can also be represented with the help of plot. This plot is a method which will help in creating or producing some graphs which will help in analyzing for the data analytics peoples or the users or the engineers who are working on the data sets. So this is an example. This sign is a mathematical concept, mathematical, which gives some certain sort of values, and here sequence of number has been given starting from 0 to, and value ends up to where 2 pi. This is starting from 0 to 2 pi, and length is 100 is given here. That means these values can be stored in an array, and the length of that array will be up to 100. And the sequence of number that has been generated with this sequence is starting from 0 to 2 into pi, that is multiple of 2 into pi, or 2 into 22 by 7 you can say. That's whatever value we will get, that will be the highest value we have to reach here with this help of sequence method. And whenever we will plot now, we will get the graph of such a sort. Means this has been shown here. That is, with the help of this plot, we will get the graph here, which x is representing the sequence, whatever sequence we have done written here, and 0 to 100, the value has been taken, and this is the index. So based on this index, a graph will be plotted with the help of plot graph. In the next R programming language, in video lecture, we will be seeing rest of the features, that is outline. Up to here we have done. Now we will be seeing data type, resources, simulation, and statistical table in next of the programming language. Whenever video lecture we will be doing here. So in next lecture, data type and rest we will be studying. Thank you.